Right, James, episode 4, we're in hall 4. We've got 3 fantastic rows of Nortons in here, and we're stood at the end of the first row. Everything from the 1903 Enerjet right away through all the periods through to the 90s where we've got F1 rotary
Rotaries of the
Nortons.
90s, yeah.
So telling the full story here, and we're stood at the end of this first row next to this particular machine, and that's the clue to what this bike's about.
This is the clue.
Go on then.
Shall I do it?
Try it, go on.
Okay, everybody's going to have to forgive me for this, okay?
Go.
Riding in the TT racers.
That'll do.
Sorry,
So
everybody.
the reason we got the ukulele, or banjolele, or whatever you want to call it, is we're next to a 1947 Model 30 International.
Inter, yeah, 500 Inter.
Which is interesting enough in itself, except this had a very famous owner.
It did have a famous owner, and I know you'll get a close-up of this, but yeah, George Formby.
George Formby.
George Formby, riding in
legend.
the TT races, etc., yeah. When I'm cleaning windows.
When I'm cleaning windows, the biggest film star of the late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah.
And a very keen motorcyclist.
Very keen motorcyclist. He had about 5 bikes at the time he had this, I think.
Yeah. And this bike was, as the photo there, was presented to him at the Norton factory, wasn't it?
In Bracebridge Street, yeah. People, it's like you say, very famous. People, I guess these days, who would you liken these stars to today? Who's really famous? I don't know, TV personalities or what have you. He was a megastar, wasn't he?
He was the top boy, wasn't he, at
top
the time?
Boy, megastar.
Top earner, 21 films.
And actually, you're keen motorcyclist, very capable motorcyclist, very, very capable rider, yeah.
Well, and he proved that 1935 No Limit film, which was a story about a racer at the TT, wasn't it? So he sort of laid it out there then that was his big interest as well as his music and so on. But it was a bit of a PR stunt though, this, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Well, you know, we're talking 1947, we're talking civilian production just coming back, and it was that whole export or die policy thing, wasn't it, where the government, all manufacturers of anything, pots and pans, motorcycles, cars, I don't know, whatever, export, get money into the economy. And so very few bikes, relatively few bikes, were going for
home market,
really. Civilian, post-war civilian consumption. So his wife, Beryl,
and his manager.
His manager, I think she was a bit of a one, Beryl, wasn't she?
Quite stern, but wouldn't have been the success he was without her, is probably one way of putting it. But
I like the sound of her. Beryl.
She was very focused on the business side, and she did a deal with Norton, didn't she? So
yeah, so I think that popular sort of people think that Norton gave it him as some PR stunt, and that's not true. I think she got it for an advantageous price, and then it was a huge PR coup for Norton, and as you say, delivered outside Bracebridge Street.
That brilliant photo.
The picture that we've got there, the entire workforce turns out to see the bike handed over. But as a bike itself, interesting really, because that whole post-war production, you've got things coming back for the first time, so it wasn't all khaki green or black. You've got things coming back like chrome
on the tank, and this was the very first, or believed to be the very first, post-war production Inter that came off the line, wasn't it?
That's right.
Which is interesting in itself.
And again, different from the sort of the immediate pre-war bikes. You've got the road holder teleforks, moved over to them from girders. You've got the plunger rear suspension.
Plunger rear end, so it's been updated. But still got that incredible bevel drive, overhead cam. We've still got the iron barrel and head, cast iron, haven't we, at this point? But it's still got the performance. So this was a proper clubman's bike for the road, wasn't it? Fast
that engine that had been so successful and carried on being successful. And of course, we've got the 49 Jeff Duke TT winning
Yeah.
Clubman's bike, which is ostensibly pretty much the same bike.
Same bike as this, so it was a proven engine. I've also had the pleasure of owning a featherbed later version of this, but also we've got a pre-war one at the minute, and that to ride when you get it on the cam,
Yeah.
they really do go. Bit oily.
Yeah.
You know, you've got your open valves at the top, and it does waterproof the inside of your calf with a bit of oil, but it's sort of, it was a proper race engine for the road at the time, and would have been, yeah, a rapid way of getting around for George, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. And as we've touched on, wasn't just sort of a PR thing or something he was getting paid for. He really liked riding motorcycles. He was a hardcore rider, and very capable hardcore rider, as we've said.
He was well proven, and it's interesting this because you've got a full lineup of the Cami Nortons here, from the CS1s through to sort of pre-war, first post-war, and through to the featherbed. So it's really interesting and a great opportunity, probably a unique opportunity to see so many Nortons and the evolution of how that came through.
The lineage, you know, this is getting slightly, well, not off topic, but it's just, you've hit an interesting point there, John, because museums can be funny places sometimes, in as much as you can get a bit overwhelmed by a lot of flashing lights and interactivity and what have you. And that's something that we want to move more towards. These things aren't cheap to do. And to do properly. But, you know, we get so little criticism of because we do have a bit of a lack of that. And it is something that we're addressing as we go on. But you know what? The majority, and I have to say this, and it still surprises me to this day after 12 years of being in this role, you've just hit on it. People love the simplicity of being able to see 1 year after the next, that lineage and how things developed.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes, and this wouldn't always be a popular opinion in sort of the museum world, but sometimes you can be a bit too clever for your own good.
Yeah, too many.
The amount of people that's obviously the collection's overwhelming and awesome, you know, just the scale of it. But to see in really simple terms when things changed from acetylene lights to electric light in 1 year, or how brakes changed, or how suspension changed, or anything else, with your own eyes in a really, really simple way, and that really works for us. So it's interesting you touched on that. It does.
I think it works really, particularly in this hall with the Nortons, because you just literally can go along these sections, can't you, and really pick that out right from that. So that Enerjet and the V-twin Peugeot engine bike that's same as what Rem Fowler rode in 1907 in the first TT, right through to these sort of Clubman's bikes and onwards. So it is, it's great to see and to see this and the history that this has got in terms of ownership and the stories it could tell. Now it's got sort of pride of place as part of the collection of Nortons here at the museum.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, it's a great bike to feature, and I do love an Inter. I love an Inter.
You've got to love an Inter.
I love it.
Got to love an Inter.
It is magic.
Yeah.